Hey everyone, today I've got your Vice movie review. Dick Cheney is a man of many things. So does this movie do his life story justice? So as far as the story goes, Adam McKay directs this biopic about the early life of Dick Cheney, who started out as a businessman before working in Washington, D.C., and eventually being asked to be George W. Bush's vice president. I went into this movie with an open mind, and of course, I've loved Adam McKay's work in the past, some of his previous films, like The Big Short, which also stars Christian Bale, who is in the lead, and obviously I wanted to see this movie because of Christian Bale, but I didn't really know too much about Dick Cheney other than him being vice president, so it was actually kind of refreshing to know exactly, what was all going on in his life, and also kind of scary in a way to find out certain things about him. But I thought it was all written pretty well, and it really did flow as far as the storytelling goes. Now, as far as the casting goes, Christian Bale is surely going to take home tons more awards for his performance as Dick Cheney. He already won the Golden Globe, and I think he captures this future VP down to a T, not only with his appearance, because obviously he went all into this role, gaining, I don't even know how many pounds he gained, but he portrayed him as this historical villain, and he was somebody not to be trifled with, but also somebody to sympathize with, at a time when his family was going through a lot and dealing with this one tough situation. I just think he did such a good job. I mean, it was almost unrecognizable. I mean, this is why he is one of the best actors working today. Then you've got Amy Adams, who plays his wife, Lynn Cheney, and I thought she had good chemistry with Christian Bale, and of course they've been in movies together, so we know how, well they're going to work on the set of a movie. Then you've also got Steve Carell, who plays Donald Rumsfeld. Now, I'm not too familiar with, the real Donald Rumsfeld, so I kind of thought that his performance was seemingly comical, and obviously we know he can be a very funny guy, but I did not even think that Donald Rumsfeld was like this, and I thought he'd be more serious, being in politics. But then you've also got Sam Rockwell, who plays George W. Bush when he was governor before becoming president. He at least looked the part, but I honestly wasn't completely sold on his performance, unlike some of his previous work. And even, I've got to give a shout out to Tyler Perry, who played Colin Powell. I thought that was really cool to see as well. Now, the things that I liked about this movie was that it didn't seem like your typical political biopic because of Adam McKay's style of filming and using comedic timing as a highlight. I mean, it was something that I had seen in some of his other films before, but something like this was just completely took me off guard. And it felt more informative, even though the movie itself was intriguing and brought us all back to a time when we probably wish to forget seeing some of those events in history that we had to relive, like the 9/11 attacks and going to war in Afghanistan, and how it all just changed America, and not just who was in power in Washington at the time. So I thought that was all just pretty crazy to see all of that. But unfortunately, the things that I didn't really like about this movie was that whether or not the sporadic editing was done intentionally, it felt weird, but also comical, like I said. Sometimes there were just things that were weirdly placed. At one point, it felt like it just ended. The movie ended, and then it kept on going. Like, I was like, what the heck is this? I was like, okay. It was just something really strange. I don't know if any of you guys felt the same way about that. So overall, I would say that this movie was pretty impressive, to say the least. I would definitely check it out again just for the performances alone. And the story being second place. So I would recommend checking out this movie, regardless of what party you come from. I mean, I'm sure this movie looked like it had an agenda, and maybe it did, but I wasn't really focused on that at the time when I first saw this movie. So I would give this 3.5 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Vice. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.